Hi. You might be wondering why I'm a blob now. It's a long story. I'm assuming you clicked on this video because you want to create a SONA, or planning to redesign yours, or because you enjoy listening to others talking about their characters. In case you have no idea what a SONA is, to make it simple, it's a character people use to portray themselves. They are very popular in the art community, especially on YouTube, since you can create assets such as sprites or a VTuber with your character, and that way you don't have to show your face. But you still manage to connect with your audience via this representation of yourself. I'm sure you've seen many examples before, some of them meant to represent the artist as accurately as possible to the real-life appearance. Others can be an idealized version of the person, and some others don't even look anything like the person or aren't even human, such as for sonas or look at sailors. They have this extremely cool and recognizable star creature as their sona, and I'm pretty sure they don't look like that in real life. But it doesn't matter. As long as the artist connects with their sona in any way, you can design anything you want. The sky's the limit. And now we can go back to me. For those who don't know me, I'm Fan, I'm an illustrator and concept artist, and in this video I'll be revealing my new Sona design and narrating the process behind it. If you check my YouTube channel, you can see I've been here since 2024, which means that, damn, 2 years have already passed. And during that time, my Sona has gone through multiple iterations and outfit changes and new backgrounds and sprites, remodeling, and God, I wasted so much time on stuff that was gonna eventually get replaced by new assets over and over because I did not really vibe with any of these designs. It might have also been a problem that I could just immediately jump into any design I could kinda like without an actual period of testing. I had this constant state of jealousy towards my artist friends when looking at their sonas because they all had these cool concepts and character designs, while mine was so boring in comparison. Also, many of them would eventually make videos redesigning their own sonas, and I'll be linking those below if you are in the mood of watching more people yapping about their sonas. And okay, I'm gonna admit that I do have a problem with honesty. I don't know why, but in terms of representing myself, I've always had to make it as accurate as possible to how I look in real life, or I could feel I could be lying to the audience. If I got a haircut, I felt compelled to redraw all my sprites because it could no longer be accurate, which is a standard I only set for myself. When I see any of my friends with their very non-human sonas, I'm like, they are so cool. But God forbid me from drawing myself with a teaser I do not own in real life, or I'll be doomed to the fire pits of hell for my deceit. But I could eventually feel the need to redesign my Sona since I didn't really connect with it. And when watching all these how to design your Sona videos, they could encourage being creative and drawing more fantastical character designs with unique elements. And I tried multiple animals and fantastical creatures, like, I don't know, a demon, but I just didn't feel any connection to them. Why didn't you use your favorite animal, you say? Well, that's because my favorite animal are seals, and seals are so difficult to adapt as a Sona. Like, if your favorite animal is a cat, well, that's easy. Stick a couple cat ears and a tail, and that's already recognizable as a cat character. But a seal? What can I add to a humanoid character that makes it resemble a seal? Like, seals are just blobs. If you draw any non-blob-shaped body, it's just not going to work. So I was talking to my friends one day, and they were all doodling tiny Google versions of them that they used when they were too lazy to draw the normal version, and I needed to Googify myself. So without thinking much, I just doodled a quick blob version of myself. And guys, it was perfect. Also, shout out to PVs because literally a second after I posted these doodles, they were already making fan art. And please look at it, it's so squishy! Guys, you don't get it. I'm obsessed with this tiny creature. I've always thought that people exaggerated when they said how much they loved and felt represented by their sonas, because I could look at mine and be like, well, I guess I like it, but I don't really feel that passionate about it. And my God, I get it now. This is the best and most accurate representation of my being, and I cannot stop doodling it at all times. And now you'll be saying, So a slightly different hairstyle is a no-no, but a blob with glasses is fair game. And yeah, I notice how silly my logic is. Like, I'm not pretending my original argument made sense. I guess my subconscious just interprets this as something so obviously different from my real life self, yet captures my essence so well that it just accepts it. But here's the problem. I had this little simplified version of my Sona that resonates with me so much, but the main Sona was not so exciting. So I had to redesign it as well. I wanted it to still be humanoid and to look like me, but I also wanted to make it a bit more exciting. And now that I had the tiny seal version, I knew I had to give it a seal theme. But here comes the problem I mentioned before. How? I did a lot of testing, and in the end I came to the conclusion that trying to make it look like a seal yet still humanoid was gonna be almost impossible. So I just made it a bit more feral looking. Fangs, whiskers, messy hair that hides my ears, seal markings as freckles, and my favorite part, a tiny seal tail. Yes, seals have tiny tails, look it up. It might not be obvious it's a seal, but it still gives this sort of creature feature vibes that I like and resonate much more with. For clothing, I thought a preppy kinda nerdy style could not only fit, but will give this nice contrast to the messier, more animalistic features. And here's the new design. Now I just had to make the new sprites. But the thing I realize is that I don't want to. I don't want to have to spend hours designing and painting hyper-complex assets that I'll eventually hate when I get better. I use my videos as a way to showcase my art, to connect with others, and even if I enjoy working on little gag animations and fan assets, I don't want to have to spend more time working on art assets then. You know, the actual art I want to make. And don't get me wrong, because it seems people like to misinterpret everything I say. There's nothing wrong with spending time making assets. Heck no, I know many people that actually love designing new sprite sheets and new outfits for their sonas, and they have dozens if not hundreds of assets they are super proud of. I feel if my Sona is not as detailed in rendering and shading as my art, it's not good. And like, look at my art. Making sprite sets in this style is unreasonable. Especially if, as I said, I could improve and then I have to redo everything over and over. I'm a busy artist, I only have a bit of time to work on YouTube videos, and having to spend all of that working on sprite sheets instead of the art I want to be making is discouraging. And then, out of nowhere, I had a realization. There's nothing that forces me not to have my Goober Sona as the main one. I thought it was a bad idea having a Sona so simple. Like, humanoid designs could surely get more clicks in thumbnails. But I actually was told by viewers that they click on my stream because of my goofy seal. Yeah, I stream every week and I have this bouncy seal PNG tuber, and I'm so proud of how it looks. It actually might be a good thing, it's so simple yet different from the average Sona. It makes it stand out. Instead of having my main Sona being the humanoid more detailed one, I can just have the Goober version as the main character of my channel, and have the other version when I want to draw more detailed illustrations. Because I also enjoy drawing myself with things like hair and clothes and eyes. But having the little blob will not only allow me to focus more on the quality of my art and give me more time to work on it, but I'll be able to work on more quick sprites and animations like the ones you've been seeing in the speed paints of this video. And I feel the urge to be constantly doodling and animating this little guy. And I don't even need to have any references, it's ingrained in my brain. I don't want you to watch this video and your takeaway to be, oh, I should make a blob Sona. I mean, if you want to, go ahead, but I want you to think of not only what you like, but also what you enjoy doing. It doesn't matter if you have the coolest design if you absolutely hate to draw all those details, or if you have a very simple design but you don't connect with it. This was a bit different from my average video, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Usually at the end of my videos I ask you if you like the designs I made, but for this one, I don't really care. Oops, I think that sounded a bit mean. What I meant is that my Sona resonates with me and I love it, and can't stop drawing it. So yeah, it's something so personal that the only person whose opinion I care about is myself. But do tell me about your sonas, the stories behind them, your inspirations. I'd love reading about them. This video is not a tutorial, just sharing my own experience and thought, but if it helped you in any way, then that's awesome. And as I said, this goober is so fun to draw, so if you wanna draw it, please tag me so I can include it at the end of my videos like these doodles my friends and subscribers made. But that's everything for this video. Hopefully with the new assets and the change of mindset I'll be able to make videos more often. So subscribe if you don't wanna miss the next one. Bye bye!